Well, good morning, everybody. I'm being a little bit quieter today because I'm actually at a beautiful resort called Peppers on Magnetic Island. And oh my goodness, we're really excited to have maybe a future dream trip here because it's absolutely stunning. I'll actually post a little video of the room in the team chat after the call. Wow, like it's absolutely amazing. And it's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine on the way up here, and he said, "Oh my gosh, you have the best life. Like, what do you even do? Like, you're always off somewhere. Like, you've just got back from a trip, now you're on another trip, and then I know you're going to Punta Cana. Like, what even are you up to?" I'm like, "Well, I'd love to tell you, but I need to show you." And he's like, "Huh?" I said, "Are you open to watching a little video? It's like literally 3 minutes and 40 seconds." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay. When have you got 3 minutes and 41 seconds that you can watch a video?" He's like, "Now?" I'm like, "Okay, great." And it was literally that simple to send through the link and have him watch the video. So I wanted to kick off the call with that this morning. Good morning, Sue Cooper. Great to have you on live with us as well. You're like horizontal stripes today with the sun coming through your window. um, I think sometimes we just overcomplicate the crap out of what we do. And you know what? This is all about fun. It's all about travel. It's all about creating freedom for ourselves and our family and our loved ones, our friends, and the people who we invite into this incredible platform. So, I wanted to kick off today with a little visualization exercise. Now, this is one of my favorite books in the whole world. And I was actually telling Jeff about this book this week. So, it's called The Answer by Allan and Barbara Pease. And unfortunately, it's not available on Audible in English. It's available on Audible in another language, which Jeff and I couldn't quite work out. But it's an amazing book. Now, I've had the opportunity of meeting these guys in person and working with them, and they are a beautiful couple with huge hearts to serve. Allan is a real character. He is hilarious. He actually is the body language king. So they used to get him on a lot of news and type shows. And Andrea's read the book, and you've met both of them as well. Yeah, awesome. And so if they had like a politician who did a speech, they'd get him on to then debrief and interpret the body language. So he also wrote another really great book, which is fantastic for our industry, which is called Questions Are the Answers. But today we're talking about the answer. And so the key thing that he talks about in this book is a thing called the RAS, R-A-S. Does anyone pop in the chat? Does anyone know what the RAS is? Here we go. I'm just going to turn to the beginning of this book. So, revealing the secret of the RAS. Anyone know? I'm going to open up. I can see that there's some chats going in there. Yes, I was going to say, Andrea, you should know what it is if you've read the book and done some work with them. So, the RAS is a part of our brain. It's called the reticular activating system. So, you can see that there's a little keyboard there. So I want you to think for a moment, and Jeff and Sue, this will be right up your alley. If you want to know something, Chris Cummins has joined the call. Good morning, Chris Cummins. Are you at the airport yet? Chris is off to New Zealand. I'm in Magnetic Island because guess what? We're part of a travel community. And what do we do when we're part of a travel community? We travel. So Chris has even got his Discover shirt on. I love it. I love it. So... And now I've gone completely off track. Where was I going? Keyboard. Okay. So if we're wanting to find the answer to something and we're looking for an answer, what do the kids tell us to do? I know my kids say, just Google it, Mum. And
Just
so
chat
for us to
GPT it.
find an answer, what was that?
Just chat GPT it.
We're not talking about that today. So we Google stuff, right? It's the number one search engine in the world. But what do we have to type into Google? We have to type in certain words, which are called keywords. So, or it may be a question. So when we type that into Google and we press enter, what happens is all of the little bots and Jeff and Sue, please don't criticize me for my terminology here because, you know, I'm not techie at all. But basically, all the little bots work in the background and they look for the answer to your question. Now, the really cool thing, and this is so freaking powerful with our RAS, is it works the exact same way. So if we ask ourselves a question, our RAS, even while we're asleep, is going to work as in our subconscious to find the answer. So it's really important before you go to sleep at night that you visualize what you want. And if there's something that you want to figure out, like what's the solution to X? How can I this? Because then this thing is going to be computing and going through while you're asleep. Even like on this call, my brain, my RAS is going to be working for me in the background because that's what it does, which is pretty cool. But here's the good thing and the bad thing. Your RAS can either work for you or it can work against you. Because just like Google, whatever you ask it to do, that is what it's going to search for. And your RAS, your brain, doesn't actually know if something is the truth, if it's reality, or if it's made up. Let's say that again. Your RAS doesn't actually know if what you're asking it or telling it is the truth or if it's made up. So what does that mean? So if you're saying, I have no money, I'm broke, I can't do this business, I haven't got time to travel, I can't afford to travel, and all of those things, your RAS is then going brrr, brrr, and it's looking for evidence to support that. Versus if you say, I am the #1 income earner in the fastest growing team in DreamTrips, and I go on a dream holiday every single month with my family, with my friends, and I'm living the most abundant, incredible life. I'm driving my dream car. I'm living in my dream home. I have the most incredible, loving community of family and friends around me to support me. Like, I am so grateful for the life that I'm living. If you tell yourself that every single day, guess what? That is what's going to happen in your life, because thoughts become things. What you say is what you create. So you want to make sure that what you're telling your RAS is very powerful, because if we put the negative things in, what we focus on expands. So if we worry, that's worrying about the solutions that we don't have. It's worrying about what we don't have. It's worrying, and none of that's the truth. But what we're doing is when we worry, we're programming our brain to attract and create all the things that we don't want. So super, super, super important. So I highly recommend this book, The Answer. It is absolutely amazing. It's a really easy read as well. Now, I want to just talk about a couple of the points in this book today. So one of them, chapter 7, The Art of Visualization. Really powerful. And then I want to go into affirmations, and then we'll kind of get into the rest of the call. So visualization is one of the key secrets to pretty much every successful person on the planet. Guys, I'm just going to let you know, I'm on my iPad. So if I look here, I know I'm now looking at the lens, but it's weird because it's on the side. So it's called The Answer, Nolene. The Answer by Allan and Barbara Pease. Amazing, amazing, amazing book. Jeff or Kath or Sue, if one of you, or Andrea, if one of you want to just grab the link from, online and drop that in, that'd be great. So visualization. So the way that he describes it here in the book, he says visualization means closing your eyes and vividly imagining the achievement of the goals that you've set. So there's no wrong with this, but I just would love to know who actually does visualization now. Does anyone do that? Of course, Chris does. Jeff says yes as well. Amazing. So again, the brain can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. So it drives towards what you have imagined, okay? So it's so important. And guess what? Your mind doesn't think in words. It thinks in pictures. So it's why writing down your goals is important, but actually visualizing it is even more important. Now, I love in here, he actually has a really simple step-by-step process for visualization. So would everyone like to get that process? It's literally a 4-step, super, super simple. So the first thing when you're going to go into visualization, Geraldine, hello, beautiful. Geraldine's joined us all the way from North Carolina, South Carolina, USA, the Carolinas.
Yes, the Carolinas. Yay.
Great to have you on, beautiful lady.
Thank you. I'm going to mute because I have a noisy dog. Hold on.
That's okay. So I think there's someone else just joined us too. Oh, Angelina. Hello, beautiful. So we're just talking about The Answer, a really powerful book by Allan and Barbara Pease, good old Aussies. So the power of visualization, so it's 4 steps. So the first step is you have to relax, because if you're go, stressing, worrying, got 1,000 things, like it's not going to work. So first thing is you have to relax. So find a quiet spot where nobody's going to bother you, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and just let go of all of the tension. So that's the first step. And not only does that help you relax and let go of the tension, but when you oxygenate your body by taking those few deep breaths, it allows your brain to actually start. So then the second thing is you have to imagine what you'll do. So with the visualization, so in this case, he's using an example of a guitar that they want to play a guitar. So visualize the guitar, visualize its shape, the strings, the fingerboard, until you have a clear picture of it. So what is your goal? What's the next thing that you're working towards? And you want to visualize that. What does it look like? Then the third step, and this is critical, is you have to put yourself in the picture. You have to be there. So imagine picking up the guitar, notice how you sit with the guitar, how much, and imagine with as much detail as possible. So I know Kath and Chris and Jeff were very close to me throughout the journey of me purchasing my treehouse in the Whitsundays. And every night when I went to sleep, I visualized myself like walking up, like driving up the driveway, walking up the front stairs, looking out at the view from my deck, walking through the house. There's a little spot down the backyard, and I haven't even done it yet, but I imagined a garden bench, like a beautiful garden with a frangipani tree and a lemon tree. You know, that there were plants that my pop used to grow that were in his backyard. I used to visualize sitting there and, you know, just having conversations with my nan and pop who are no longer with us. And I visualized that every single day. I visualized waking up and looking at the view out to the water. And I was putting myself in that picture. I was visualizing myself, you know, making a meal for the children in my kitchen, you know, running around with the dogs and having parties, which I know that there's been plenty of you who've had drinks with me on the deck of the treehouse. And that's what I thought about every single night when I went to sleep. Yes, exactly, Nolsey. And then you want to add the feeling. So how does it make you feel? Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you grateful? What's the feeling? And it's actually then like it's like visualizing that it's real, like it's already happened, it's done. So, and then when you finish, you then want to open your eyes and just be so grateful that that's what you've created. So that's the 4-step process to visualization. And the last part of it is then attaching that with affirmations. And affirmations have to start with I am or I will. So, for example, one of my affirmations is I am a happy, healthy, sexy, strong 68 kilos, size 10. So I've attached the feeling and I've been very specific with what it is. And I'm telling my brain I'm already there. That's what I've already achieved. So was that helpful this morning? Did everyone like that? Yeah, awesome. Okay. So that's, I just wanted to share that this morning because I think many of us, we stress, we worry, we overthink things. And even with how to do this business, it's simple and it's easy and it's fun. Like literally yesterday, on the phone, on the way up, someone just says, you know, what is it that you're doing? Oh my gosh, you're always on holidays, you're always away. Well, I can't tell you, but I can show you. Are you open to watching a little 3-minute video? That's it. And then sent through the link through Rapid Funnel. Like it is so freaking simple to do this, but it's also so simple not to. I had another lady reach out to me yesterday morning. Kath, you might know this lady, Jess, who has Harriet, the combi, in town. And I met her at a car show last year. And she remembered me. We connected on Instagram because she's not on Facebook. You know how I love Instagram, right? I'm the Facebook girl, not the Instagram girl. But anyway, I did the important thing. I met her. We had a conversation. We connected online. At that point, I didn't mention anything about the travel club, but I created the connection, because once you're connected, then they're following you on whatever platform that you're using. And she sent me a message yesterday. Now, she sent me, I think it might have actually come through Instagram, where I think that was her. No, I might have to go. I suck at Instagram. No, I don't suck at Instagram messaging. I've just figured it out. See, look, I went straight to that negative. We're all human. No, it's not there. Anyway, I will find it. So I'm pretty sure it came through Facebook. But she sent me a message and, you know, oh, do you remember me? You know, I'm the one with the combi, blah, 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 blah. And having a great conversation. And then she says, all your reels and photos keep coming up on my Instagram. What is this travel thing that you're in, and does it really work? I'd love to get some more information. Now, that's someone who I met over a year ago. I haven't spoken to her, haven't had any conversations. All I did was added her to social media. And then obviously she keeps seeing, because it's all around consistency and actually being a product of the product. So she's seen me on a trip so in that time frame, she would have seen Santorini, Athens, Hawaii, Gari, and now obviously Magnetic Island, and in a couple of weeks Punta Cana. And I've been promoting all of that, right, on social media. And she's just like, what is this travel thing? Now, she's a single mum as well. And again, like, you know, that seems to be who I'm attracting at the moment, because that's what I'm sharing on social media. Again, this business is simple, easy, and it's fun. So I just went back to her and said, oh my goodness, I would absolutely love to share this with you. So there's two parts to the club. Most people just join as a member, and then they get to save a bucket load as they check off their bucket list and get access to incredible, amazing holidays that you just can't put together yourself, where you're treated like a real VIP. Or the other side is you can actually become an affiliate, and then you can get paid to share this with others. And I've been able to create a really nice passive income, you know, that comes in recurring every single month. So were you more interested in the travel side or the business side, or both? And she came back and said, yeah, no, I'm not really interested in the business, but I'd love to know more about the travel. Okay, great. So now all I've sent her is the travel stuff. We won't even talk about the business now. And I think it's so important that we ask those questions before we send through the video. Because, you know, right now, she's not open to the business. Guess what? We get paid the same whether she does the business or the travel or both. So it's so important that you got to ask the right questions and then meet that person where she's at. Now, who knows, in the future, she may change her mind and want to upgrade and do the business as well, and that's fine. But for now, she just wants the travel. So then we want to get excited about the travel, talk about the travel. Oh my goodness, the trips are amazing. Now, speaking of trips, there's one more trip that's coming up super, super soon, and that is our Whit Sundays trip. So I wanted to just have a quick conversation about that. And guys, I'm just going to be really, you know me, I have to be direct and upfront. There have been some challenges with the resort on that trip with regards to the families, because most of our families have 3 children. Love you guys. And the price was blowing out ridiculous because of the 3 kids. So I know a few of you have already booked the trip. KB, myself, and Georgina, who is in Australia, who's building the trips, we have been scrambling like nothing for the past 48 hours to find a solution. And as we know, and there's been a lot of stress, I've bitten all my fingernails off. There's probably 5,000 grey hairs in here. But as you know, I'm the make it happen queen. And there's only solutions. There's not problems. So I had to surrender 2 days ago, didn't I, KB? I was like, man, I need chocolate because I can't drink wine because it's dry July. And I said, okay, I've got to trust that if this isn't happening, that there's going to be something better that's going to come out of this. And oh my goodness, we are so excited. So Mark and Tammy don't even know this yet. They're going to get the news today. We've actually got a better resort and the views are insane. It's right in town. The restaurant where this resort is actually where we had KB's birthday last year. It's one of our favourite places to go in Airlie Beach. So we are really excited. It's come in line. So the people who've already booked, it's totally fine. The pricing is identical to what it was before. Oh my goodness, we are so excited. But for the families, because they're apartments, it's actually going to work a lot more. It'll be way more cost effective than the other resorts. So whilst we're disappointed that we've had to go through this crazy stressful process in the last couple of days, it was ridiculous. The resort, we'd said we needed family rooms and interconnecting rooms. And unfortunately, when we went back to get all the details, it just couldn't happen. So anyway, we have the solution. So that has been the other part of the delay. And we hope to be able to have it all sorted and ready to book for families in the next 48 hours or so. So thank you for your patience with that. I apologise that has just been such a debacle. It's a complete F-up on the resort's part, which I'm very disappointed about. But hey, these things happen. But yes, the new resort's beautiful. Cass' husband Dan actually has done some reno work, and one of our close friends used to live in one of these apartments, so they're absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we're pretty excited, and they were able to accommodate the size of our group for the dates that we needed. So it's all worked out, which is amazing. All right. So guys, that is my update for this morning. So what I'm going to, Sue, out of respect for our owners, I kind of need them to know before I share it with you guys. So there was a couple of dotting the I's, crossing the T's that we needed to sort out, not with the accommodation, but yeah, I shouldn't even be telling you guys, but I just, I love you, and it's our trip, so I wanted to let you guys know straight up. So mum's the word until we actually let Mark and Tammy know. I was literally didn't even want to look at their messages yesterday. It's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, we have the solution and it's all worked out, which is amazing. And I really just want to acknowledge Kath. Kath has been amazing over the last 2 days in just helping me. As you know, Kath is our co-host for that trip as well. And we have certainly been doing some scrambling and ringing around, and just really, just so grateful for you, beautiful lady, for all your help and support and suggestions. And again, for just everyone else, to know how much goes into the behind the scenes to bring a dream trip together is absolutely massive. And it really does make a difference when you've got locals or people who know the area that they've been on the trips before, to make sure it is all seamless. And, we've had to change some things around because now, it's a different location. So, certain things that we had weren't going to work. But I promise you, the trip, I think, is actually even better than what we had before, if that was even possible. So, yeah, it's going to be amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. So what I want to now do is hand over to my partner in crime, the amazing Chris Cummins, who I think is actually at the airport because he's about to fly into New Zealand. Chris, I know that you always have so much wisdom to share, but of course, for those of you who haven't met Chris before, Chris has just got the biggest heart to serve. He's such an inspiration to me every single day. He just loves to help others. But Chris, we call him the money man because he's all about helping people get free and be happy. And he's been so successful in business, but he's also had traditional businesses where he's had to work his butt off. And what he loves about Dream Trips is the power of leverage and lifestyle. So, Chris, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, that's correct. You can hear me fine? You can hear me fine? Yep. Yeah, I'm standing here in the middle of the Brisbane International Airport, about to jump on a flight to head down to New Zealand. I'm skiing this week, horse riding on Monday. So I've got a few things planned, doing a little bit of ATV driving through the wilderness as well. So I got the first 3 days on my own, so it's a bit of a finding expedition where I get a chance to get into my thoughts and to reset and get ready for another big month when we get back. We've got 1 week here in Brisbane, and then I'm back off overseas again. So it's a matter of getting focused, ready for the next trip. One thing I would like to say, and it's something that I've done all my life, is I've always been able to picture exactly what's going to happen to me and exactly where my life's gone and going. I have a really big vision that I will always have money and I will never worry about money, because life and the universe will always give me money. So I never really worry about money, because money always seems to follow me, and I'm very lucky for that. But again, it's the way I put it in my mind. I started off very poor. I started off in a very humble position and really struggled for the first probably 10 years of my life. From the age of 12, I started working at the age of 12. Bought my first house at 20, paid it off at 20. I started 3 businesses by the age of 21. I've always knew that I wanted to be business orientated and have control of my own destiny. And it's always been a picture in my mind, and always, I never veer from that vision. It's always in my mind all the time. The other thing I do every single morning, and it might sound a bit silly to people, but every single morning I wake up and I thank the universe. And I just say, thank you so much for everything I do have. I'm a very lucky person. I have so many things. I have a wonderful family. You know, I have adversity the same as everybody else, but the things that are really wonderful in my life really do make up for that difference. I know in life, if that's something I really want and I put it in my mind, I go and get it. And I'm just very headstrong that way. And because I put it out there, I think the universe follows me. So I think it's one of those things that if you just got to get and start living the thing you want to be and start thinking the way you want to be, and eventually end up being that way, subconsciously. And it's quite funny, because I often go to bed with problems and wake up with solutions, and my subconscious mind's amazing. It blows my mind, my subconscious mind. So I'll put a problem in there at night, wake up in the morning, I have the solution, because my head does not stop working, or my brain does not stop working on how can I achieve this? How can I achieve this? How will it come to me? What have I got to do it? And then I just wake up in the morning and go, now, if I just do that, and that, it's going to happen. And I believe it solely. And I just get up in the morning, do the things that I know that I need to do, and it happens. So every time I take on a new adventure, I've had hundreds of businesses. I start a new one every couple of months, the way things have been going. But I'm on another crusade at the moment to create the wealth that will set people free. So that's my big goal as well at the moment, is travel and create income. It can be done, and there are ways of doing things. This travel club is absolutely amazing, because it gives you the community to travel. I'm traveling on my own today, believe it or not, and I really hate that. I'm heading over to New Zealand. Nobody can get away because everybody else has to work. So I'm heading over, and I said to Jaden he can take 5 days out of work to come over and ski with me. So we're skiing from Tuesday onwards. But yeah, and this is the thing that most people miss, is either having somebody to travel with, the time to travel, or the money to travel. So put it in your mind, put it out there in the universe that that's what you want. And in time, you'll be quite surprised how things work. The other thing is, you're working with people with the same mindset as what you want to achieve. So when you're working with people that are in that way, in that mindset, and I'm so solid on that mindset of where I want to be and how I'm going to get there, that people like myself drag people like yourself along. If you're happy to hop on the ride, be open to training yourself to have the mindset, and everything in life really is part of the mindset. So I'll leave it at that. Can't wait to see us all when we get to the airport lounge down in Sydney, because that's where my holiday really starts, when we go over. And my holiday starts today because I'm standing here in the airport. There's nothing more exciting than looking around with hundreds of people ready to travel. Everybody's in a happy mood. Everybody's just excited to get away. So my holiday starts today. I'm starting another one in 2 weeks. So look forward to seeing you all there. And thanks again for just being a wonderful community and allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Chris. We love you, mate, and have the most amazing time over there in New Zealand. And thank you for those tips. And I think, you know, you can hear everything that Chris has shared is exactly what we just talked about from this book, but Chris has just been living and breathing this. And that's the thing. It's one thing to read a book and get the knowledge, but it's the other thing to actually apply it, because it's applied knowledge. It's taking the action, it's implementing it that's actually going to make the difference. And it's the same as this call. You can jump on this call every single week and feel great and feel inspired, but unless you actually then go put it into action, then it's just going to be short-lived. So I would love to see in the comments, in the chat, what is the number one action item that you're going to take from this call today? So you guys know I love to do my angel cards. I've actually got this new set of cards. It's called Whispers of the Ocean, because, I think I'm a mermaid. I even went and got mermaid hair. What do you think of my crazy mermaid hair? That was for Punta Cana. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a whale tail. And it says the card, and I drew the card for the group. It says total submersion. This is really powerful, guys. Don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy, and you may find what your life has been lacking. So the key there for me is give it 100% of your energy. And I want you to really think about that right now and reflect, do a little bit of a self-audit on how are you showing up within your Dream Trips business. So every one of you here is on this call because you're business builders, you're ambassadors, you're affiliates, whatever you want to call it. Or travel influencers is the new fancy schmancy term. And you're all here because you wanted to create an income from this business. So I want you to now think about, over the last week since our last call, if you had to give yourself a number, a percentage out of 100, what would you give yourself on the amount of action and immersion that you've taken over this last week to build your Dream Trips business? So KB says 70%. Cool. And I know that there's not one person that's not going to be 100%. I'm not 100% either. And it's not that you have to do it, 24/7, but it's actually having the integrity to do the things that you know that you need to do, the things that you said you would do, because Chris says 80%. So if we're not at and 100%, literally might just be sending 2 videos a day. That's it. And your 100% might be different to my 100%. Maybe your goal is to send 2 videos a week. Lee says 10%. I'm kicking my own ass today. This isn't about me making anybody feel bad. I just want to make sure that you all understand that. But I am holding you all to account to have the things that you said that you wanted. And the only way to do that is to take the action that you know you need to take. And in our case, it's really super simple. We have connected conversations. We share stuff on social media, and we share 2 videos a day, or however many videos is right for you. But it's being all in. There's a beautiful little pool here in our resort, and I know that the water is freaking freezing. Now, if I just sit on the side and dip my toe in the water, I'm not going to get anything, right? You got to dive in. You got to go all in to get the results with anything. If you do something half-assed, get in there, it'd be like, what is it? The ice bath therapy. Total immersion. So going back to this, our little whale card. So don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy. You may find what has been lacking in your life. You know when and where to start, and your endeavors will be supported with opportunities. And this is the thing, right? As soon as you take one piece of action, the universe or God or whatever you believe in will actually conspire to help you, especially if you've programmed your RAS and you're doing those visualizations and you're doing those affirmations. As soon as you take that little piece of action, the universe will give you 1,000% to support you. Not 100%, 1,000%. You may desire more education, a period of study, learning through an existing system or program may be indicated. You may be chasing a new aim in life or have begun a journey of self-discovery and contemplation. This message is about staying power. And how true is that? A lot of people, they get one no, and then all of a sudden they want to quit. It's too hard. It doesn't work. No, you didn't work because you didn't work yet. We have seen so many people create incredible lifestyles and passive income from this opportunity. So you just got to success leaves clues. It's just following a system, immersing yourself, going all in, giving it 100% and giving it time. So I love this part. Submersion is about going within. And you may benefit from disconnecting from the outside world so you can explore what you would like to create. So again, reconnecting with your why. Why did you actually say yes to this in the first place? Some things take time to come to fruition. So allow time for newly planted seeds and ideas to become established. Now, I don't know if you guys were on the DTI Connection call yesterday, but Hadiatu talked about one of her team members who hit the top 10 last week. And so she rang her and said, oh, what did you do? What did you do? And she said, oh, I didn't really do anything. She said, these are people that I showed ages ago through Rapid Funnel. And it was just this week that they'd actually come back and join because the system did the work and she just did the follow-up. So it's that consistency and giving it time. You know, when I shared this with Jeff, that was 8 years ago and it wasn't the right time. And then, you know, he saw me do a post on social media last year and he's like, I'm in. You know, I shared this with KB 8.5 years ago. Kath was the very first person that I actually rang because I was so excited. Yeah, Kath was like, no deal. I was devastated. I was so upset. But now Kath's in, right? You know how we all had the best friend test and you have that friend who's like, that was Kath for me. But look, I kept loving her and appreciating her and being friends with her. And look where we are today. So, you know, sometimes you've got to have that staying power. I love you too, babe. So a humpback's whale large, sorry, I'm trying to half read with my glasses. I have menopause brain at the moment. My brain is really screwed. It's ridiculous. You should hear me having a conversation with my kids. I can't remember their names half the time. So a humpback's whale tail is called a fluke. The whale may lift its fluke out of the water and then slap it on the water's surface. This may be a warning for the rest of its pod. Before a whale dives, you'll see its fluke go under. You'll see the fluke is the last thing before it goes under. Each whale's fluke has distinctive markings, which are used to identify whales when they migrate. Once a humpback dives under the surface, it may be up to 15 minutes before they surface again. When they do resurface, they will be miles away from their original location. This is the key part. This is true for you when you dedicate yourself to your project, learning about anything that has intrigued you. Once you deep dive into the subject and gather the information, you may find that you've altered yourself in a completely different position. And that's exactly what this call does, right? You've actually submerged yourself. You've removed yourself from the busyness and the craziness of life. You're learning and we're all connecting together. At the end of this call, you're going to come up an hour later in a completely different place to where you started this call. But then it's up to you to continue to take the action, to share something on social media, to book a trip. Who's coming to the Whit Sundays? Like, come on, guys. Like, you've got to book it. Get excited. Share on social media that you're coming to the Whit Sundays, that you've just booked it or you're about to book it or you're so excited. Honestly, people aren't going to believe this until they see you going on trips. And as soon as they start to see that you're going on trips and that you're living this lifestyle, it's why I get so many people reach out to me every single week, because I'm actually living it. I'm booking trips. I'm going on trips. So I want all of you to have a real look at what your number was. What was your percentage score for this week? And how can we get that higher for this coming week? What is your number going to be? Are you aiming for that 100%? And what does that 100% look like for you? Because again, if we aim at nothing, we're guaranteed to hit it. So what are you setting up as your success strategy for this week? So maybe it's just to reach out to 5 people. Maybe you're going to send 2 videos a day. Maybe you want to send 10 videos a day. This is your business. It's your life and you get to do it your way. Maybe sending videos isn't your thing. Maybe you want to pick up the phone. Maybe you want to catch up with people for coffee dates. Chris is at the airport. He's probably going to talk to some people at the airport because Chris just can strike up a conversation with anyone. But remember, this business is about having connected conversations, and we need to have connected conversations with people. And some of you need to find some new people to talk to because you keep going back to all the people who are negative and, we really don't want to travel with them anyway. KB and I caught up with a lady who we met at the dog park this week. And, she says, oh, so what do you two do? And we go, oh, we get paid to travel. She's like, what? How do you do that? We're like, oh, well, we can send you a little video that explains how it works. Just like, no, like, how do you do that? Look, we can't really explain it. So, let's not talk about it now, but happy to send you a little video that explains how it works. Are you on Facebook? She said, oh, yeah. So we connected on Facebook and we sent the video. Actually, I didn't send the video because Kath actually sent me a reminder the next day saying, can you please send Paula that video? So we sent the video. We arranged a follow-up because she loved it. And we actually went into that meeting down at the park with the dogs. And I said to Kath, let's really qualify this lady to make sure that she's someone who we actually want to travel with. And we kind of had this little look to each other about 10 minutes in, and we disqualified her. We actually decided that, she wasn't really someone that we wanted to invite into our community. And so we just waited for the opportunity, and she had another project. She was setting up another business. And we actually said to her, you know what, why don't you just focus on that first? And then, we can look at this in the future. You know where we are. You can always contact us on Facebook. And we literally took it away from her because we didn't want her to be part of our community. So this is the other thing. You guys are trying to sign up every person with a freaking heartbeat. And, we might be stuck having to travel with these people. So actually understand that what we have is so freaking amazing. I mean, all of you who've been on a dream trip, like, you guys got to experience it. Like, the magic of a dream trip is the people. It's the community. It's that instant connection. And we've got to protect that. We want to invite people who we love, who are fun, if you go on a trip with someone who drives you crazy and does your head in, like, that's not going to be a dream trip. That's going to be a nightmare trip. So we want to really raise the bar. And here's the thing, when you attract really high quality people into our community, they're going to attract high quality people because your vibe attracts your tribe. So I really want you to also think this week, who are your top 10 people who you absolutely love, who you would love to build a business with, who you would love to be able to travel with? They're the people who you want to go out and talk to. Now, if you don't have those people in your life, one of the things that I used to do is I used to love going to a shopping centre. And you know how some people, you can't complain about the customer service because there is none. But then there's others that are like really happy and bubbly and they're just an absolute pleasure. They're the ones that you want to connect with and invite. So we don't have to invite everyone to this. Now, I know that there's some leaders that will disagree. And Geraldine, you'll remember good old Matt Morris. One of his trainings was every dud knows a stud. But you know what? We might get stuck with that dud as well. So I'm really all about inviting people into our community who I love, who have that positive vibe, and that we have an anti-DH policy. All right. Well, guys, that is me for today. So I just wanted to open up. Is there anything, Jeff, Lee, Kath, did you guys have anything that you would like to share? Does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, we will wrap it up. Jeff, over to you.
Just thank you for this awesome training. It's been perfect timing. I just, for myself personally, I just felt like this whole training was just spoken to me directly. It's one of those ones where you just like right timing, right place. Everything that I've gone through in my life in the last couple of months, this was the reset. This was the reminder that I needed to just get me back into gear. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for being here and showing up. And Jeff, you are such a beautiful man. You have a heart to serve. You're an incredible servant leader. And you've had a lot going on as well. Your whole life has literally been turned upside down since our Fraser or Gari dream trip. So I really just, sending you and Harrison and your family so much love and just so much gratitude for who you are for our community. And yeah, it's awesome to have you back on the call, and excited to see you back in action and back on that top 10 global recruiters leaderboard.
I know, it's mine. I'm going to own it. I am the top 10 top. I'm the number one.
Number one.
Number one. I just wanted to also just say to it, Ed, I know this call's been recorded, but it's nothing that Sarah and I haven't sent out to our public circle of influence yet. But it's things when like this happens in your life, like when a child, all of a sudden can't walk in your life, like what's happened with Harrison. It really gets you to pull up and reflect on what is important, what is important. And I know, Kylie, you've gone through, shared your story with your gym and all that sort of thing with, and figuring that out for yourself. And we've all here, we've probably got our own why to why we're here. But for me, that why just got really deep and got really present over to the last couple of weeks. That's it. Sarah and I actually have made the decision. We're not actioned it yet, but we've made the decision. So we're going to sell her business and we're going to become full-time travelers. So that's, like, for us, it's
wow.
a big call. We're still going to buy our house, but we're putting that dream on the back burner for 12 months. We're going to go travel for 12 months before we buy a house. And so we're just going to, buy that caravan, buy that car, and go become the nomads and travel around Australia, go dream trip to dream trip, and just live that life. And bring that dream into reality. And why I say that this call is perfect timing, it's a perfect reset, because I've been really getting crystal clear on what that dream life looks like. And then you've just gone and backed it up with today's call with the visualization and the RAS activation and all of that sort of thing. It's just, yeah, boom. Thank you. So.
Oh, Jeff, thank you for sharing, Hannah. I've got goosebumps. I'm so excited. I still remember I came back from a boot camp with DreamTrips, and I just sold everything I owned and just bought a one-way ticket to New Zealand because we were about to launch in New Zealand, and best decision of my life, scariest, but it was incredible. So really acknowledge you and Sarah for having the courage to follow your dreams, and wow, what an inspiration for your kids, mate. So freaking awesome.
Well, game on. We sold our car this week.
Amazing.
It started.
I love it. Well done. Alrighty, so before we close out, I'm going to hand over to KB, Kath Barker, and who's in the Whit Sundays, and just so excited I know Kath has been in massive action this week as well with building the business, but also with helping me put together or put the finishing touches on our Whit Sundays dream trip. So over to you, beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Carls. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week, right? Anyway, we're almost there, which is great. So I just wanted to touch base on what Jeff has just said about, selling up and traveling. I think that's the most incredible thing. We've recently bought a caravan. We're planning on doing the same thing as well, doing a lap around Oz. But I had just recently, and I don't know whether this is what Kylie was leading towards wanting me to share, but anyway, I'm going to anyway. I'm a real estate agent, and I have just walked away from 12 months in an agency because I had the most awful experience. I'm going to get emotional now. I've never I'm 52 years old. I've never ever experienced being treated so poorly by a leader in a business. So it was quite distressing. And I, with a bit of encouragement from Kyle's and my beautiful husband, Dan, I've actually walked away, and I have chosen that DreamTrips is it for me. So I'm super excited to see where this goes. I've actually worked pretty hard this week, sent out lots of videos, and I just wanted to touch on something with for those of you who weren't on the Global Connect call yesterday. Beautiful Martin Ruoff said something that he said lots of things, but one thing that he said is this business is simple. Invite, present, enroll, and train. It's that easy. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So invite, present, enroll, and train. That was it. The other thing he said yesterday, I took thousands of notes, was steal your mind. Now, he talked about concrete and how it hardens over time, having that solid foundation. And just making sure that you're following the system, having those beliefs in yourself, reinforce your beliefs, having those concrete, solid beliefs in yourself. So I just want to reach out to everyone here on this call and say, if anyone needs any help, wants some support, I'm here for you. That's what we're all here for. So yeah, I'm super excited to travel more, see where this business is going, and I'm looking forward to traveling with each and every one of you. I have traveled with some of you already, looking forward to doing it all again. So yeah, have an awesome weekend. Go out there and kick some massive goals, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, KB. And for those of you who were on our Tuesday night travel call, Kath actually shared the packing cubes on Tuesday night, and I got to see Kath with her packing cubes on the Gari trip. Well, this trip here to Magnetic Island is the first trip that I've actually used my new packing cubes, and OMG, it's like the Trello for your suitcase. It is absolutely amazing. So if you haven't already done so, jump online and get yourself some packing cubes. I'm actually going to get some more because now I've had a practice run for Punta Cana. I've realized I need a couple more of the big ones, but wow. It's just a game changer. I opened up my suitcase that didn't explode, and everything was just so neat and organized. So yeah, super excited. So I just wanted to thank you again for that hot travel tip, KB, packing cubes. And the last thing was it the same call or the week before, we talked about Trello, and I took you behind the scenes and showed you how I plan out any trip that I do.
I think that was the week before.
Okay. So this trip to Magnetic Island, it was just a weekend away. I'm actually here with my beautiful girlfriend, Robin. It's her 40th birthday today. And so super excited. And I was like, oh, it's just up the road. It's just a weekend. I won't worry about doing a Trello board. Oh my goodness, I have forgotten so many things. I was like so unorganized, and I was kicking myself that I didn't create a Trello for this trip. So if you haven't already done so, definitely use Trello. If you want the template, I've actually now created, I know Kath has done it as well. We've actually now created a template Trello board that we can literally just use as like a base and then open up for a new trip. So if you would like that, just pop Trello in the team chat, and then we'll actually get you a copy of that as well. So Andrew, if you can pop it in the team chat, Dylan, and that way that'll make it a bit easier for me. I can share it, or maybe I'll do it as a post in the Facebook group is probably a better option. And lastly, guys, just please, I know that families, we still can't get you guys booked just yet, but we are like this close now with the new resort for the Whitsundays Dream Trip. For those of you who don't have kids, can you guys please go ahead and just book it so that we've got an idea of numbers? And don't worry, families, I've already got rooms allocated for you guys, even though you haven't physically been able to book. We've got those put aside, so you're not going to miss out. So promote that trip. We need to have lots of rooms booked so we can book that out and show Mark and Tammy, the Aussies are here for fun, and we mean business, and we are growing. So guys, love you all, appreciate you. Have the most amazing weekend, and I will see you online Tuesday night for Travel Tuesday. Mwah! If you want to stop the recording, Jeff, that would be amazing.